Hey everyone, welcome to Breakout Wednesday for the 29th of June 2022. It's currently about 9 p.m. on the West Coast, 11 p.m. on the East Coast. First of all, remember, this is never financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is simply a video blog on how one trader sees the market, and everyone needs to take responsibility for their own decisions. Okay, missed last week, guys. Sorry about that. Life's getting a bit busy these days. I've learned that 2 kids is harder than 1. Now, here's a chart of the All Ords. Which is obviously we're in a real shit market still. We've had a bit of a rally over the last week, but very, all the looks of a bear market rally, of course, right? We're still in a massive downtrend. So I just want to, what I'm doing at the moment is I'm taking the odd short and the odd scalp and really short-term trade, but that's it. I'm not really swinging for the fences. I'm just kind of scalping in and out of things, but I'm doing very little of that even. I'm pretty much just doing nothing and just hanging out because no position is a position, and having the discipline to just stay out of the market when the market isn't giving you A+ setups is key, because money can be lost so quickly for those who with no discipline and who are impatient and just force themselves to take trades because the market doesn't give a shit what you want. If it's a weak market, it's just gonna spank you and you're gonna lose money super fast. And when the market turns, money can be made really quickly. So I just been patient, waiting for my A+ setups to return, and then I'll go hard again. Okay, I'm just gonna scroll through some stocks which I find interesting. This is Air New Zealand, and these aren't necessarily setups. It's just some interesting stuff happening that it's, this thing is in some serious trouble. Massive downtrend. I think there was maybe a bailout. I'm not totally sure. I haven't read heaps on it, but this stock is in a vicious downtrend. Just keeps consolidating and then breaking down again. So all the same principles that I go through for long trades and stocks in uptrends works in reverse. Sometimes you don't get as long a consolidation period because it happens so quick and it's so violent, but it definitely the same principles apply. Okay, this is BPT, but on the NISI, not on the ASX. It's one of these kind of royalty trusts, and this was a great move back here. Hey, and anyway, I'm just watching these stocks that had these mainly energy stocks, obviously, that had these great moves and have just come back to their 50 exponential moving averages and bounced. And there's a fair few of these around. Okay, and I'm not going to take that if it just races up and breaks that high. But if this can consolidate and then tighten up like exactly like it did here, here. Sorry guys, just trying to point out this little right hand side VCP right there. Okay, that is a perfect VCP. If it can come up, test it, and then chuck me another little VCP right hand handle thing, that'll be perfect. So I'm just still stalking these types of setups. Okay, and it's just characteristically, if I'm going to be long something, it's going to be long the strongest stocks out there, and this is an example. So there's some water stocks out there which are bucking, showing huge relative strength compared to other sectors, and this is just one. It's not ready yet. I mean, this is just not. This came up in a Dava scan. It's not a big enough base for me, but it's certainly ignoring this vicious down bear market and consolidating up new highs. So I'm watching that. FEX on the ASX, okay, really is stronger than a lot of the other material stocks. Okay, here it was sitting above all its key moving averages, consolidating here. Okay, and so it's one of the better charts out there. It's going to be like a smaller position for me. I just don't, if I'm going to go long this second, it's got to be a great setup, which I do believe I do like this setup, and it's got to be a smaller position, and I might scale into that position, if it starts really well, and then I can potentially add to it later. But FEX, it's a nice chart. It's a good setup. It's been consolidating. It's been kind of holding up really well on big market dump days. Okay, so I'm looking at FEX. I'm finding IBM very interesting. I'm just going to scroll out here. This is a monthly chart of IBM. Obviously, it trades on the NISI. This base, the IBM's going sideways since February 2013. I mean, wow, 9 years, okay, over 9 years. It's just been going sideways and sideways and making nobody any money. And it's just really showing huge relative strength to the rest of the market, okay? If you just go through and look at the other big tech stocks that are getting hammered well below their 200-day moving averages, IBM is sitting up there and it's pressuring these all-time highs. And so it's not ready yet, and this needs to tighten and just give me somewhere to get in that makes sense. But certainly just watching IBM, okay, and with a plan to trade it, definitely if the setup comes. Kogan, which I talked about a few weeks ago, just when it was setting up, I forget, I was probably talking about it here, but this thing has just been breaking down and breaking down. It's just an example of an old market darling from the COVID era that just went straight up, and now it just keeps going straight down, and consolidates and breaks down, consolidates, breaks down, and it's classic stuff. This is a SOGU. This needs more right-hand side here. I thought it might give it to me, but it might not. I'm just going to wait and see. It needs another 4 or 5 days of right-hand side, but this is a stock that kind of is. I think they're taking the other side of SPACs. Read about it yourself, but. Anyway, setup's great, and obviously SPACs are getting hammered. So, and don't know why I didn't mean to do that. TAH, okay, had a demerger here. Some of their lotto stuff got demerged, I think, and it's just super strong. Okay, I love these gap ups, and then you kind of get these gap up drifts afterwards, and I would like it to consolidate more. It's going to be a smaller trade than normal, but TH is interesting. Now, and there's a lot of trades like this around where we've had our initial move up during this market rally, like tiny little market rally over the last week, and on really nice volume. I'm not going to go through all the stocks that have done this, but just this is one example that I like. This is obviously a penny stock, hey, real piece of crap little penny stock. But I just like this huge rally on big volume and then consolidating. And so what I want now is just this consolidate for at least 10 days. Okay, it has to be 10 days. It's consolidated for 2 days at the moment. Okay, that these guys get whacked on my watch list because of these huge rallies that come up in breakout scans and volume scans. And I just whack them on the watch list and just cast my eye over them every day to see if I get a nice tight consolidation. And so if you look at this retracement tool here, okay, this is retrace less than 50%. The best ones retrace, 30, 25, 30%. This is less than 50% of this move, which is still good for a tiny little penny stock. It's pretty tight for a penny stock. And then we want this to just, volume to dry up and just give me 2-3 weeks, okay? And this might never do it, okay? I'm just talking crap with a stock that I like the initial rally, and I'm just going to see if a base forms. And things like that just get whacked in the watch list and I wait and see. That's really it. Taking the odd trade, but I'm pretty much in cash, being really selective and careful. I'm waiting for the good times to return. And I don't really care if it takes months for that to happen. Like, you only need to be in a market heavily for a couple months of the year to have a good year. Okay, so if I sit on my ass, I don't care if I don't take many trades until November. It just doesn't affect me. I don't care. There's plenty of other things in life. For day traders, obviously, there's still many trades to be made, but I'm not doing that these days. Just kind of sitting back and being patient and disciplined. And V trades will 100% come again. Before you know it, there will be setups like we had back here on Lake. It's just a matter of time. They keep repeating, for decades and decades and decades and decades, and they will keep repeating again. It's just a matter of being patient and waiting for them. Okay. That's it. Next week, I'm heading away with the whole family. I'm going to have all next week off and just chill. And then I'll be back the week after that. So apologies for that, but that's life. You only live once. Take care, everyone. Cheers.